What is going on, Gemini? It's Chris Anthony coming at you guys live and direct, and this is going to be your reading for the month of July. Alright, Gemini, and I am loving your energy. It's something about it that's very deep, spiritual, and calculative, and tactical, and we're going to get into it and see what's going on, but I think it could get kind of deep. Just give you a warning at the beginning. I'm seeing a lot in the cards, right? But let's do the disclaimer. So this is a general reading and it may not resonate with everyone. If it does not resonate with you, you can always check out your rising or moon sign for the month of July, or check out one of the previous videos that I did for Gemini last month, because energy is fluid. Now, if this does resonate with you, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment, those things that let me know you're watching the channel and it helps you out in some type of way. Also, I appreciate all the love from you Geminis that you guys have shown over the past months. Definitely connected with a lot of Geminis out here, and I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in and following the messages that come off the cards. I'm deeply appreciative. All right, so we're going to be looking into your present energy right here like we always do. This is the main storyline, Gemini, that we're drawing all of the information of the cards off of, and then after that we'll be checking out your futuristic energy, which is more of the supportive details, right, to your main storyline over here. We'll get more information about what's going on with you. All right, so let me turn down the music a little bit because it may be a little too loud, and let's get into it. So Gemini, for you, starting off in the month of July, crowning your reading, you have the Four of Cups clarified by the Justice card. So I do feel like in the month of July, there's something about you Geminis that's kind of like the samurai. Like, I feel like right now you guys are the samurai of the zodiac. Like, something very deep and disciplined about your energy right now, that you've been building on, whether this is consciously or subconscious. But you've been kind of tapped in and learning restraint and also indirect approach. This is what I'm getting. It's almost like Sun Tzu, like the art of war you guys have going on right here. And I don't even know if you're doing it consciously or subconscious. It could be a little bit of both. But I feel like in the month of July, you're kind of focused on certain things that are at hand, certain things that you're working on, and a lot of that could have to do with yourself, building yourself spiritually, self-developing, right? Your craft or your skill or whatever it is that you do in life, the path that you walk, you're kind of focused on building, right? But you're also kind of tapped into your environment, and I feel like you guys are mastering your environment. You're mastering almost like the reality of nature. And what's happening with this Four of Cups energy is like, I feel like you're focusing on something, and while you're focused on something directly, you are indirectly attracting another thing, right? And this other thing that's coming in the month of July is something that you used to have your focus on, right? You used to be focused. Like, have you ever lost a set of keys or lost a remote controller in the house, if we even use those anymore, or your cell phone, right? And you couldn't find it. Like, no matter what you tried, you searched, you looked under your mattress, you looked under the bed, you looked under the couch, right? On the counter, everywhere you looked, you just could not find this thing you were looking for. And then all of a sudden you just gave up, right? And you took your focus off of that thing and placed your focus on something else. And then all of a sudden, maybe like 2 to 5 minutes, 30 minutes, however long, time passed, and that thing that you were looking for just popped up out of nowhere and came into your field of consciousness. This is kind of what's going on with you in the month of July, Gemini. I'm feeling like it's something that you were focused on in the past, but that thing was not focused on you, or that person or that goal or whatever it is was almost like running away from you, right? Was not connecting with your energy. Maybe because you wanted it too bad, and that's almost how it is when we're looking for something, right? If we're looking for love, it runs away from us. If we're looking for companionship, it kind of dashes out. If we're looking for money, sometimes it runs away from us, depending on what type of energy we're coming at it with. So through this kind of retreat with this thing running away from you, whatever it could be for you, you've learned a lot. You've learned restraint, you learned patience, you learned discipline, you learned groundedness, you tapped into your own energy, you learned how to build these 3 cups right here, how to focus on these 3 cups, right? And I'm kind of even feeling for some of you guys, this is kind of like the 3 layers of your, you know, your being, right? Your emotional world, your spiritual world, and your physical world, right? It's kind of like you learned balance within yourself. 333, right? And so now you're still continuing to master your balance, to master your environment, to master yourself, continually training yourself and disciplining and growing, right, in all the areas in life that you can. And now all of a sudden this thing that you used to be focused on is indirectly being influenced by your focus on something else. And so it's kind of like the tables are turning. And the universe is at play here, because the universe really is, sometimes we talk about it like it's, you know, a person, right, that has emotions or has, you know, almost decision-making processes and decides and blah, 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 almost like we talk about God. But really, you know, what's happening and what you guys are even learning in July is kind of like how the universe just operates off of rules, right? These laws, these universal laws. And because you chose to focus on the things that you could control instead of putting your energy into something that was uncontrollable and outside of your realm of influence, now that thing that you couldn't control is attracted to you and wants to come find you, when before you were the person that was wanting to go out and find it, right? So the Justice card is coming here. And it's kind of like the universe is putting a stamp on it, kind of letting you know that you have tapped into a certain universal law. You've tapped into a universal equation. And because you chose to stop looking for the keys or the cell phone or the remote controller that was lost wherever it was, and you instead focused on what you could at the time, being in the present moment, right? You have suddenly almost mastered your environment. And now the thing that you thought was lost, right, really was just outside of your realm of consciousness. It wasn't lost, it was always there. But now it's almost like chasing you down, running you down, because the tables have now flipped. The energy, the pendulum is kind of like swinging back in your direction, because you let go of the energy that was placed on this thing that you were focused on in the past. You stop looking at it. If you can see the person in the picture, they are no longer looking at this thing that maybe they once at one point thought that it was gold, it was glittering, it was shining, it was what they wanted. Now this person is intently focused on the cups that he is in possession of, he can control, he has a connection to, studying those. And you're very focused in the month of July, Gemini. And so this universal principle is coming in, and now this thing that, like I said, escaped you before is now chasing you down, coming in. But you are so focused on the task at hand that it's almost like you don't even see it. Right under that, we have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is talking about this energy that you're kind of in. You're in this balanced state, right? You're in this place of stability, groundedness, focused. I said focusedness. Focus, right? And I mean, you can even tell, even if you pay attention to this picture, pay attention to this card, like this person has a pentacle balanced on his head, has two pentacles under his feet, and then a pentacle right on his chest, right? But it's all in a balanced place, in a, almost like parallel place where his arms are, right? And the first pendulum at the top of his head is matching the one up under him. And this is like a place of mastery that you're in, right? You're kind of like condensing your energy. You're focusing your energy on something that is for yourself. This is you not giving away your energy to the thing that you once were giving your power away to. And so even in this next card, this is another lesson that I feel like is coming into you in the month of July, and kind of has been working its way to you maybe in the previous months, about kind of keeping your energy to yourself and not giving your power away. Staying in a place to where you can desire things, want things, want to connect to things that are outside of yourself, but also not giving your power away in order to have those things. Because I think you've learned that every time you give your power away to get the thing that is eluding you or that you can't find, like money or love or a social circle or a perfect job or whatever it could be, then that thing kind of takes your power away from you and runs off in the wind. Right? So now you're coming to a place where you're keeping your power within your control, right? Not trying to control the situation, but this is a place of authority for what you're in control of, right? Controlling the controllables is what I like to call it. And everything else that's outside of your control, you're really not even focused on it. So you're staying in this energy in the month of July. All the while, this new influence that, once almost took your power away or took your focus away from you is coming back around, orbiting you, right? This is kind of what I'm feeling with the Three of Pentacles. It's almost like this desire that you've once had. It could be a person or it could just be something that you kind of wanted. It's kind of now floating around you and orbiting, and it's almost drawn to your energy, because this is the other thing that I kind of wanted to say. And excuse me, sorry if this is kind of like very abstract or maybe going too deep, but I just feel it. And I always go there with you guys, Gemini, so you know what's up. So I feel like you have like a stronger gravitational pull in the month of July, just recently in your energy, right? Because you've taken your power back from all the different things that was taking it away, that was taking your focus, your discipline, your self-love away, right? Everything that kind of drew your focus outside of yourself and into the external world, you're deciding to cut those ties off. And so whenever you do that as a human being, right, and as a spiritual being, you start to get a little bit more weighty in your presence. Your presence becomes weightier, and your gravitational pull becomes more stronger, right? So when you step into a room or just in life in general, it's kind of like you have these energies that will orbit around you, right? These people that will be attracted to you, it's almost, and this is kind of the major lesson that I'm feeling that you guys have learned, not learning in the month of July, but you're in this energy. It's the energy of indirectness, right? Like, I'm focused on playing my instrument. I'm focused on my craft. I'm focused on my life. I'm focused on building for myself. And whenever you focus on something else, then other things just vie for your attention. Other people vie for your attention, right? People come into your orbit and just want to float around, right? Things come into your orbit whenever you have a gravitational pull, right? So because you're so deeply focused on the task at hand, right? We see the 3 again, which this is talking about your own energy. Then things come around and want to collaborate with you, because the 3 of Pentacles is talking about collaboration, but you are kind of closed off to the energy, and not in a way to where you're closed off and nothing can flow out and flow in. It's just like you're so focused. I almost get the vision of somebody who's kind of playing their instrument in the subway, right? And they kind of have mastered this instrument, and they're in their own world, and they're not even really playing so that other people can hear them, even though they're in a public place. They're playing more so to connect with their inner being and connect with their craft, and they know why they're here, right? And it's kind of like their energy is all focused on playing on what is at hand. This is where you are, Gemini. And then you have kind of like a whole crowd that's around you that's listening to you play. And it's almost like I'm feeling like it's people that's wanting to come up and talk to you while you're playing, or people that's wanting to come up and give you money in your hand while you're playing, but you can't let off the focus of you playing to your own tune, right? For these people to interact with you, but they're drawn to your energy because you're so focused on yourself. This is what I love about self-love, because it works in an indirect approach to whatever you really want in life, right? It's kind of like through the conscious community, we're learning, and people as a whole, I think, are learning that when you focus on yourself, when you focus on the things that you can control, then all the other things that was kind of out of your control, that eluded you, like I keep saying, just kind of comes to you, right? It's crazy. It's crazy, Gemini. So this is what's happening in the month of July. Like, you're so focused on what it is that you're doing that other people are trying to come around. And these are people that at one time you wanted to collaborate with them. You wanted to join forces. You wanted to have their attention and get their attention, right? But let's just say you didn't have the gravitational pull because you were leaving your throne of power in order to go play with them. Like, now you're sitting on your throne. Now you're focused, right? Now you're disciplined. Now you're grounded. So now they want to come play with you. Now they want to see what it is that you're so focused intently on and why you're no longer focused on them. And it's almost like you don't even see them. Wow. So let's keep it moving. And then we have the moon card clarified by the magician. So yeah, this is you in your space, right? You're mastering your environment as the magician, someone that has access to the four energies that we deal with in the tarot, right? The pentacles, the swords, the wands, and the cups, right? So your emotions, your thoughts, your ability to be grounded and build for yourself in the material world. And what was the other one? Your passions, right? The magician can play with them all. So this is kind of like the level of alchemy that you're on. You're wanting to forge something for yourself, right? It's kind of like you're building something for the future, manifesting something into your world, and you're using this law of kind of indirectness to do it. And that's how the law of attraction works. You focus on something, you want it badly, you just gotta have it, right? And then after that, you leave it alone. And it comes to you. And this is the magic trick that you're learning, or that you have learned in the month of July. For most of you guys, you're starting to see that, oh, it actually worked. When I just draw my attention onto something else and put it into my craft, put it into my work, put it into my building of my finances or my children or whatever it is that you've been focused on, now you start to see that the thing you wanted so badly just comes to you. How could this be possible, Gemini? Right? So you're operating in this energy, right? And it's almost like you're building in the darkness is what I'm kind of seeing for some of you guys. It's almost like you're forging something new with night vision goggles on at nighttime, right? And you could be kind of in such a new place energetically or spiritually where you are, right, that it seems like it's in the dark. The sun hasn't kind of risen on it yet. Maybe other people are not even noticing what you're doing, and maybe you don't even notice what you're doing because, like I said in the beginning, this could be all subconsciously that's happening, right? The way that this thing is operating, and now I'm kind of blowing it off the lid and giving you the conscious side of it, right? So, but I feel like the universe itself has had to keep this thing kind of in the dark, to you, even if you haven't been on this consciously. And it's almost like you weren't able to get that thing that you wanted, because you couldn't get it the way that you were trying to get it, right? Before, you were just running after it and you were leaving these other 3 cups behind, and these 3 cups are a part of you. These 3 cups have to do with your evolution, right? Your maturity, your growth. But you were forsaking that to run after this 1 cup, right? And it was the wrong way to do it. The right way to do it is to focus on what it is that is yours. Focus on yourself, your evolution, your growth. And this cup right here is supposed to be delivered to you. You were never supposed to run after it, right? So you had to go through this whole little transition, almost in the darkness, almost subconsciously it was happening, but it was turning you into a person that could be the alchemist, right? The magician, where you can attract things into your life. You can, yeah, it's almost like putting on a show. This is a skilled person, by the way, with the magician card. This is somebody that has developed a certain skill, and I do feel like a lot of you Geminis are skillful in the art of attraction. Right? You're learning. Like, you know when to lean back, and you know when to open up. You know when to close off and focus and do your own thing, and you know when to pause for a second and focus on something else. But in the month of July, you are focusing on yourself and your own things, and these lovely things are orbiting around you. And it's kind of like, even though you see how lovely they are, right? Like these gifts, this karmic retribution, this maybe person that you were focused on that wasn't focused on you, or these other suitors could be coming in, you know, if you're looking for love, or these opportunities could be coming in wanting to collaborate with your energy, and you're just focused on playing your instrument. You're focused on your show as the magician. And you're almost kind of like in the dark at to what's happening around you, to these things that are orbiting around you, these people that are watching you, right? I do feel like that somebody has their eye on you and is kind of like watching you a little bit, like orbiting around you, just seeing what it is that Gemini is doing. And you're just kind of like, you know what's going on a little bit, but you're so focused on what it is that you're doing that you really don't give any attention to it, because you know if you give too much attention, this is almost like a fear that you have now that you've found this level of focus. You feel like if you give too much attention to something that's outside of the realm of the things that you've been working on, that everything that you have worked for could come tumbling down, right? So it's kind of like you almost want to stay in the dark to the things that are orbiting around you, because you're so focused on your show. This is, right? This is what you do. The magician, right? The magician has to be so focused on what's happening on stage that he has no time for what's happening in the audience, right? Doesn't matter what the audience says, or how they ooh or ow or say wow, or, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe people that just throw stuff out of the crowd, or just say things like, what are you going to do next? Whatever. The magician has to be so focused on pulling off the magic trick, right? That he stays oblivious to the audience. And that's why a lot of times when people are on stage, they put the spotlight on the person on stage and they dark out the audience, right? You don't even see the audience. Now, for some of you guys, this could be talking about an actual performance that you're having in the month of July, where you feel like you have to perform and you're so focused on this performance that you don't even see the other people in the room. It's kind of like they're orbiting around you, but they're so far away. Their energy is so far away that you don't even feel it. And it makes you kind of perform in such a great way. And that's also symbolically for even the people that are not performers. This is what's happening, Gemini. All right, so you're so focused on your work, 8 of Pentacles, building what it is that you want to build for the future. You're so focused on bringing everything together, right? Kind of like what longevity, right, is what I see with the 8 of Pentacles. And the message just keeps being reiterated. Once you focused on your work, that's when the clarity comes in, right? This is when the gifts come in, right? Ace of Swords. Talking about a gift that's being rewarded to you, right? This is Now, for some of you guys, this could definitely be talking about a gift that you're finding within yourself because you're focused so much on building your own life, building your own environment, right? And so this gift is kind of like being rewarded to you, kind of almost like Excalibur is rewarded to King Arthur once he kind of finds out who he is and kind of accepts his destiny and his purpose. This is kind of like that sword of destiny, right? But this opportunity is only happening because you're so intently focused on building yourself up. 8 of Pentacles, right? This also talks about a certain amount of clarity that is going to be coming in. So if you were in the dark about something while you were so focused on building what it is that you want to build, attracting, manifesting what it is that you want to manifest, while you do that, like I said, indirectness is bringing in something, attracting something indirectly. And so clarity is also coming in to you, to something that was kind of like in the dark. And I feel like this is that thing that you were focused on. This could be that person for some of you guys. Unfortunately, I know tarot cards, tarot readers, we say that all the time. The person from the past is returning and they're coming in. So possibly for some of you guys, there is something or someone that kind of wants to come in and bring some clarity because you're no longer paying attention to them. Oh, it's like that's how the human psychology works, right? When you don't give somebody attention, then they want it from you. Or and that's how physics works at the same time. When you don't focus on something, right? Then it kind of just gets drawn to you. This is what's happening, Gemini. Let's keep it moving. 10 of Pentacles clarified by the Page of Cups. Another reiteration, you're working on building your life for the future. How many times can I say it? I'm sorry if I seem repetitive, It's just in the cards. This is you. You're working on your future, building up your family, building up your house, building up your finances to buy your house in the future, to have your dream car, to have, all of this. You're getting everything ready for what it is that's going to be coming in the future. And please believe this is real, right? Your vision for your future, your vision card, your vision board, right, that you have, it comes, right? It actually works. Like, I don't know how many times we have to hear people say that, right, before we really understand that whatever you visualize, right, whatever you put in your mind and you put it out into a vision board or you write it down and you make it real, it actually comes into existence. This is a quantum world that we're dealing with, especially as, spiritual people, as enlightened beings, as conscious people. We know that we're dealing with a world, right, that is not all solid, right? This world that we live in is quantum. It can be influenced by you, like it can be influenced by your thoughts, by your emotions, by your energetic field, by your frequency, right? You influence your surroundings, and so this is what you're focused on, is influencing your future, being focused, vibrating at a certain frequency so that you can attract these things into your world, even if you're not doing it consciously, right? You're in a place where you're universally vibrating, so your vibration is doing it for you. It doesn't have to always be consciously, right? And like I said, then someone wants to come in to make an emotional offer. They're definitely attracted to you, attracted to your level of focus, attracted to how you're not focused on them. Sorry if that makes me laugh. So this person wants to come in and make an offer. They want to connect with you on an emotional level. Now, this could be a water sign, Gemini, but it could be any sign at the same time. This just talks about an emotional offer. It could be an apology, right? It could be a revealing of someone's heart and emotional space that they were hiding to you before. But somebody definitely is coming in making an offer because they see that you're focused on your future, yourself, your world. Whew. And I guess you'll have to decide if you want to stop playing your instrument in the subway to really look up and be like, oh, you what? What did you just say? You love me. What did you say? You want to get to know me? Did you just right? Did you ask me out for a drink? I'm yeah. So that could be happening, Gemini. Let's keep it moving. Queen of Pentacles for your futuristic energy. Ten of Swords, Knight of Swords, Ace of Swords. A lot of swords. So right here we have the Queen of Pentacles clarified by the Queen of Swords. Yeah. So once again, and guys, maybe I should spell it out with these cards. Now I don't think I need to spell it out. I think you guys get it. You get the point already, Gemini. I think your reading is already over, but I will finish it out. Queen of Pentacles, once again, you're focused on your pentacles, focused on building, focused on your material world, focused on building yourself up, focused on your own environment. This is what the Queen of Pentacles is very great at. Now, either you could be attracting another air sign, or this could be you attracting the earth sign. This is also the two places that you're in, the Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Swords, right? Queen of Swords does not take any shit and doesn't allow a lot of people into her energy. Queen of Swords is very good for that, like very good at that. She's very detached and short when it comes down to allowing people just to come in and just, you know, talk with her or interact with her. And the Queen of Pentacles is so focused on her pentacles, right, that she doesn't even really have time for that either. So I think you don't have time in the month of July. I ain't got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. That's where you at. So yeah, I don't know. Let's keep it moving. Ten of Swords here is clarified by the King of Pentacles. So Ten of Swords is talking about, yeah, something that you could have went through in the past, that cycle could have already been completed, or you're completing it, and it just was painful. Gosh, nobody wants to go through that. Nobody wants to be stabbed in the back 10 times and left to die. So, yes, when you look at that in your King of Pentacle position, you're like, I don't want to deal with that again. This is what I'm feeling anyway from this card, especially if somebody is coming in from the past wanting to now interact with you and deal with you because you're not focused on them. I don't know. You could just be like, I'm having more fun over here by myself. Because I remember the time, I don't know. Or anything that's kind of matching the same energy of maybe the person that you deal with in the past, or that cycle that you were in the past. All right, so if it's not that, for a lot of you other guys, this could just be talking about, you know, how you're walking out of that cycle of not having and not being focused on your own energy and going through all these painful experiences to get to a point where you were able to love yourself and stop trying to get love from outside of yourself and focus on yourself and stop being, you know, focused on things outside of yourself. So now, you know, this is kind of like the outcome of you enduring those painful experiences, those hard lessons. Now you're coming into a place of abundance. King of Pentacles is the most abundant king in the tarot. The Midas touch is what this guy has. Everything he touches turns to gold. Right? He's able to maintain his financial stability and maintain his abundance and build his abundance to a place of greatness, right? This is where you're headed. And this is why I think you're so focused right now. And it's hard for other people to break your focus. All right. Then we have the Knight of Swords here, clarified by the Judgment card. Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight in the tarot, right? So yeah, you could have someone that's wanting to rush in. For some of you people, it could be an air sign that has felt like they've had some type of awakening, and because they have awakened to certain things, they kind of want to come in and be like, hey, Gemini. That's one story anyway. Then on the other story, I feel like this could definitely be you, Gemini. You kind of focused on yourself, building yourself, and you tapping into these awakening energies, right? These spiritual energies, and you kind of having your rebirth and wanting to full speed ahead into your abundance. Now it's kind of like you feel like you have, like, you understand. Okay, I understand now. I see what I need to do. Wow. And that makes you go forward even quicker, because this indirectness, this law of attraction you're working with, this art of war energy, this samurai energy that you have, is kind of like, you're like, oh, okay. So you're just telling me if I stay focused on what it is that's at hand, if I just control the controllables, if I just build myself up and love myself and get in that energy of already being content with what I have, then all these other things just come out of nowhere. Oh, yeah. Give me more of that. I'll take that one. So if you're not there, this is what's coming in July for you, right? Ace of Swords, once again. So if you were in a place where you kind of were getting impatient with the things not coming into your world, right? Getting impatient with focused on yourself and building yourself and loving yourself, and you're like, oh man, I'm getting tired of hearing just love yourself. Getting impatient, right? You're getting the clarity, right? The gift is coming in. You're starting to see like, oh snap, wait a minute, this actually does work. This actually does work. You mean to tell me that all those... All right, I'm not even going to get deep into it, but yeah, pretty much this was just me repeating myself for a whole 37 minutes, Gemini, so sorry. Yeah, just know that you're going to be very focused in the month of July, and you're going to start to see these people orbiting around you and just attracted to your gravitational pull. And one of these people could definitely be a soulmate lover, right, that wants to come in and connect with you and offer, but you just may reject them. Seven of Wands. You could just at least be defensive because you're like, but I was doing so good by myself. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. I'm going to cut it off right there for you, Gemini. I love your energy this month. We'll see you in the next reading. And like always, if this did resonate with you, like, share, subscribe, comment. I also have personal readings open. If you guys want a more personalized reading, you can email me. That'll be in the description of the video. And also follow me on IG. That's chrisanthony14lbs, chrisanthony 14 pounds. That'll be in the description too. I'll see you guys later.